In 2011, I was running a game. It was a Western horror LARP. So, as you can imagine, everybody had guns. Nerf or other, they're made by a company called Edison. They look like real revolvers, and they shoot little gummy bullets. I'm not going to shoot anybody, but as an example, here's one. Right? We had a lot of Nerf guns. A lot of them were painted because we're going for the really cool look, because we all want to look cool. Some of them weren't painted, they were still the original bright colors. We had a great time having fun, goofing off, having our game. And at some point, halfway through the first day, we heard a voice from up on the ridge. That's weird. All my players are here, all my NPCs are here.
Group campsite too.
I'm here. I'll get that later on. Yeah, group campsite too. Controlled access, ranger on site, all kinds of cool stuff. I'm here. NPCs. Secret NPC is going to attack soon. All right. We're all here. Look up on the ridge. It wasn't any of our people, but instead it was a bunch of real sheriff's deputies and real SWAT snipers looking down very real sniper rifles and scopes at us. So, we'll come back and revisit this later. Who am I? Why am I here talking to you? Like most of us, I started off in junior high playing D&D, other RPG tabletop games. Sexy. Since then, I went on to college, and a bunch of my friends, a couple in this room, we put together a LARP, a fantasy LARP, which we still play to this day. And
you can name it, it's okay.
Yeah, sorry. Try to be general, We call it campaign because we didn't have any imagination then. So that's our game. We're very story-oriented. It's a fun time. We come out and have a whole goofy weekend together and beat each other up with boffer weapons. So I'm all those things. I've been a role player for 30 years. I've been a LARPer for 25. And, stripper music please, a police officer for 14. This is my coming out moment, guys. Anyway, so that's who I am, and I have so many things on slides to show you. I love this computer. Anyway, maybe at the very end we'll race through the slide presentation. It'll be really cool. Sorry.
It'll be a retrospective.
So I'm here to talk about when LARPing and the law collide. I'm here to talk about how to make it better for everybody. Missed all that, no slideshow. Still? Alright. See, I told you. Now the SWAT snipers were obviously a very extreme example, but I have a feeling most people in this room who've been on a LARP have been interrupted by the authorities in some way or another. By a show of hands? Anybody? Yes! You haven't? You, sir, are lucky, but it will happen in your lifetime.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. Okay. Some examples. Man behind the counter. What happened?
I actually have an epic example. It was in the IFGS LARP.
Okay.
It was one of the old SoCal LARPs that a few of us started in the old guard 20 years ago.
Okay.
And it was I'd written a rescue game for my own character to be rescued from the death cult. They were sacrificing me. I was running the game.
Right.
They were sacrificing me on an altar, so I was covered in blood. Anita Twitchell was her, if anybody knows Anita, had a giant set, like real dagger. We were at Frankton Central Park. We had started late and the sun had gone down. And so we're in the park and there's cultists and chanting and I'm covered in blood and the team's coming up and then spotlights and cars pull into the parking lot and cops pour out. As the producer, I had to get out covered in blood and go talk to the police officers and explain what we were doing, and they were really cool. And they're like, yeah, you got an hour.
Perfect example.
GTFO.
Perfect example. Can I get one more, not from you guys? Can I get one more? Anybody want to tell their story about the authorities interrupted their game?
Ours have primarily been noise complaints.
Okay.
Just things like, what are these crazy people doing shooting Nerf guns at each other from across the street? Why are they being so loud? And you're calling the cops like 4 times.
Yeah, fair enough.
Vampire LARP, Huntington Beach,
And
upset.
well, okay, yeah, fair enough.
They almost hauled us into
Same
jail.
thing the Harvey said, huh?
I can't just doing an update.
God damn, Cassidy.
Oh,
That was terribly funny.
so close. The lady in the previous panel went a little long, but that's okay. I'm hoping I can stretch over into the next person's panel. So yeah, so those are excellent examples, especially that one. What's it?
Cat.
Cat, especially from Cat. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah, no
participating. You get a gold star at the end of the So LARP, if you think about LARP, it's I'm gonna get all fancy here. LARP's a microcosm, which is like a smaller segment of a bigger society, right? And in that microcosm, just like in most, there are, LARPers, the ratios stay the same. So most of the LARPers are good, some of them are great, and there are some bad ones. Now, does anybody in this room know somebody who's a really bad LARPer who gives us all a bad name? No names, please. We all know somebody or something that has happened that makes us look bad. Now, the same thing applies to the cop world. Most of them are good, some of them are great, and the ones that make the news are really, really bad. And that's the sad truth. So, as a role player, you have certain jobs. And I'd like to break that down as the GM. What's the job of the GM?
Make sure the event runs smoothly and people do what they need to do.
Right. Right, shoreline, run the event. Herding cats, exactly, okay. So, what's the job as a,
Attempting to nail Jello to the wall, yes.
I'll answer some examples. What's the job of the player? Yes.
Do the stupidest possible thing.
And preferably to involve the other fellow players as part of the community as well.
Sure. And the NPC, what's their job?
To help the GM.
And to die. And, yeah.
And to die epically over and over and over.
That's right, that's right. Now, so you know that the GM has expectations from his NPCs. He wants them to do their job. He wants the players to do their job. The same thing applies the other direction. Players want your GM and your NPCs to do their jobs right. So everybody has these expectations of you doing your job the right way. So what if your GM came to you and said, I need you to be this lawful good king's knight? Now, what do you think that entails?
Armor, shield, sword.
Well, what do you have to do as a role player? What do you as a role player have to do? What kind of kick, right? Okay, and you're generally the good guy trying to maintain order in the king's land.
Keep the peace.
Protect the other good guys.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Don't lie.
Well, there's lawful good and there's lawful
You know what I'm saying?
Touche.
Okay, so
Give it all I can, Captain.
I think more power. Scotty, we're not gonna
It
make
take me 6 days normally.
So what you're saying is you need whiskey.
Done.
Not about to make your troops. So what is the job of the police officer? So we know, understand the knights and the roles of GMs. So what's the job of the police officer? The law enforcement deputy. Do we have any ideas, or should I just tell you? Go.
To protect the citizenship and to enforce civil law
Right?
and common law,
Not civil law, criminal law.
criminal law, civil law.
That's why I can't talk about contracts and that kind of stuff. I don't know it. Yeah. somebody
That was,
else?
I was just going to say that to ensure that citizens are safe and well protected.
No?
Don't get happy.
Maybe if you all gather around this little table, I can turn the laptop around.
Or we could just gather around the projector and hold hands and chant.
Yeah.
As the GM, if you chant right, I'll make it work.
I need a rubber chicken.
No,
Sacrifice over that.
Oh.
I'm into immersion.
Well, God, the slides are really
Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah. So the police officer, their job is to protect the public and keep the peace. Sort of like the lawful good kings, knights of Mundania, right? That's kind of what they do.
Kat, did you try rebooting the?
I'm gonna kick you.
All right. It's hot under my robes, as you can imagine. I mean,
No, if you saw a car chase, that would be
be. And PowerPoint. Woo! Alright. Oh, sorry. it's gone. That's why mine's in the shop.
This is, as far as I'm concerned,
What? Shit.
I'm waiting on a goatee.
It's slow. It's very slow.
Yes.
Hey, what is this called, new updates?
We found that out the hard way, didn't we?
So count the icons.
Don't look at me. This is mine. I see a little spinning wheel.
It's not spinning, just so we're
I
clear.
see a little stationary wheel. Hi.
My name's Kat, I'll be working AV all weekend.
LARP in the laptop.
Don't bring it.
Oh.
Wait a minute,
I'm sure the laptops have favorite enemy LARPers
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, you know.
This is why we play fantasy LARPs.
And not modern tech LARPs.
You know that, you leave. It's your fault.
Don't look at that screen.
I'm going with the Dresden tomorrow.
Love this.
You are. It's because I'm in here on Saturday.
It's because who's here?
Her, she breaks technology, just
Sorry,
like my
Dave.
name here.
So, wait till the next game.
No, he didn't say
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Nobody tell him.
I actually just ruined something at work in a new way that they were like, how did you?
One of his pictures, I don't care.
What?
You believe it, didn't you?
It exists to bewilder IT teams.
Oh my God, you
boxes, do not touch.
That usually shows up after I close it. No, that usually shows up after I close it.
Like
And that's
that's the
really
same.
crap.
Right, that's the same.
One more time.
When he, before he retired as secretary, he put a big poster.
Once Dave, you're taking pictures of me doing this, I'm not.
Like for college.
Oh my God. I just fixed it.
There's a PowerPoint player on this, not a editor or whatever.
What is?
It's cool.
So that's why it's trying to open the wrong application.
Oh, that's what it's doing.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
I
swear to God, I worked this morning.
I have my work
Yeah,
laptop
that's fine, that's fine.
upstairs that has the PowerPoint on it, Dave, if you want it.
He's got it right now.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm just so good.
That
We
was-
can open a PowerPoint with the W reader.
I'm glad there are tech people here, because I'm not.
I'm glad there are tech people here, because I'm not.
Hey, that's why I
It
just.
says the man who fixed it.
I'm tech people. That made it worse. Kat, you actually made it worse.
Did I make it worse?
You made it worse.
You made it work.
Would you like me to help? I do it with the work.
Oh, wow, come here.
Yeah, please.
I
make it worse.
I think you open PowerPoint, yeah.
All right, we'll get back to it in a minute.
Give me 1 second. This is my job. Help this monkey.
This is awesome.
Here, give me a camera.
Open up.
All part of, yeah, we're all gonna be attacked soon by.
You get +1 in your text.
So, there are different kinds of law enforcement that could all interrupt your event. There's the local police, there's the county sheriffs, there's campus safety, and park rangers. Now, they all have slightly different responsibilities in their fields of world. I know I'm kind of fascinated too. They all have slightly different
We should put
responsibilities.
something in front of the lens, so we stop looking at it until.
No, we're good here. Come.
Oh, sure.
Jesus Christ.
Gotcha.
Let's make a hat.
Oh.
Yeah, we're good. That was totally the next thing I was gonna do.
Wow! Come on. Thank you. That's Wednesday. Can we restart the clock for this pant? No.
I will see what I can do. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My disclaimers?
No problem. I know how the law works.
You don't have to read them all.
I'm trying to read the books.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
Does anybody else have any other experience with law enforcement other than me standing here today? Probably bad.
That shows up in my games.
Other
We were talking about that, yeah.
We'll get to, you know what? I'll recap really quick. Ready? Go. Okay, so. 2011 Western Star Frontier, you were there, Sniper Ridge. Okay, got that. Done.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Who am I? Wait, that's the game. Who am I? Started junior on A&B.
I've never seen it.
Bam. Then in college. Came up with our own LARPs.
Oh, nice.
And then I took off the wizard robe and hat.
She told me, it was adorable.
So- I should have had stripper music. Damn it. All right, cop 14 years. It's true. What you can't see is, I'm wearing elf ears, pumping gas, and this was back in the day when you couldn't pay at the pump.
You have seen New York, right?
Yeah, and that's when you're in full armor. Full foam armor, and it was 6 degrees that day in February.
Woo! Oh my God,
Yeah.
Dave, you're a hottie. You are a hottie.
You mean this, the hair, you like that?
Yeah.
He was treated.
It's the ears, man.
Stop. It's the elf thing, I know. Okay, yeah, blah, 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 blah. They're all witness protection. No, I'm kidding.
You killed them all?
Killed every last one of them. And I'm here to help all these interacting. And then we go through how, when the LARP and law collide, how do we make this smoother and better user for all of us? Okay. Spot snipers obviously were a pretty extreme example, but everybody I know who LARPs, except for that guy right there, has had their LARP interrupted by law enforcement. Okay? And that's, yeah, have you ever had, we talked about these, we had our stories. I like cats, that was a great one. And I will come back to this story, just like my SWAT sniper story, we'll come back to it. And, yes, we talked about this. We talked about this. We talked about this. How everybody has expectations for everyone else. And, you want to be a lawful knight, lawful good knight. So you get the idea. So, ideally, that's what these guys are doing. Ideally. And this little blurb here just describes what their responsibilities are, what they do. They investigate crimes, try to stop bad things from happening to good people. Sheriff's deputies are slightly different. They also are in control of the jails, but they all go to the rural areas that are unincorporated towns and cities. Just an overview, guys. Campus safety. Now, you might think, campus. Who's this guy in this weird car pulling up? It doesn't look like a police car, and he's got a weird uniform. Guess what? In California, almost every single campus, the security are actually sworn law enforcement with the same powers of arrest as city or county deputies. Same thing with park rangers, but they have one added ability, or one added responsibility. They need to take care of the environment of the park as well as stop the crimes from happening in their park. So, we'll talk about prejudice. Prejudice in and of itself, the word is not a bad thing. We associate it as a bad thing because we think of racial prejudice, religious prejudice, all of the prejudices that are bad in the world. But, contractually, since I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation, I'm under contract that I have to put a description, definition on the screen. It comes with every PowerPoint you've ever seen. Bam! What does it mean? Preconceived feelings before judgment. Where does that come from? We're going to get there soon. And to fill out the set, I put a perception too. Now I got PowerPoints on my way for those guys. So, trying to catch up. So now we're caught up. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, oh, this is the part I like. So here we are in the whole prejudicial thought perception part. You're playing on a LARP you've never been on before. Never been on this before. It's a fantasy LARP. Hiking down the trail, come around the corner, standing on the trail in front of you are 4 monsters. The first one has the head of a lion, head of a goat, tail of a snake, breathing fire at you. What is it? Yes. The next one, floating ball, 1 big eye, fang teeth, 10 eyes on stalks. What is it? Next one's an undead guy wearing robes with scissors on it, casts a spell at you. He's a... Shut up! That was an earlier slide. And the final one of my absolute favorites. 10 by 10 centimeter transparent cube. Yeah, it is. Okay, so yeah, it is. Right? Now, every one of this, well, maybe not everybody, but almost everybody in this room knows exactly what each and every one of these things are. I'll bet you all know how to kill them, too. You're like, maybe. Okay, so, but you've never been on this LARP before, so how do you know what those things are? How do you know how to kill them? Right? 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 Okay, so, by the way, in our LARP, Goblins are red skinned, hobgoblins are orange skinned, and the best way to kill a blue skinned troll is with fire. So not always is your prejudicial thought, preconceived notions correct. Stop with the laughing, mister, I'll kick you out. Welcome, by the way. So, how did you know? This is how you know. Right? So there I was. I'm hiking down the trail. When around the corner comes the lich. Right? We talk to each other, we tell each other stories, and we learn from those experiences. Unless you're the guy who fought the thing. And if you lived, awesome to you. This is how we learn all this stuff. Right here. So we get this impression, these ideas from everybody we work with, we fight with, we talk with. We're out there, we're eventually partying, we learn from each other. Now, that's pretty much what I say. So you're coming down that trail and come around the corner and now it's a monster, it's some little skinny bald old dude in the loincloth in the lotus position. What's your first thought? Bash him with your warhammer? Probably. No. It shouldn't be, right? So,
Floor drop.
yeah, you're right. Yes, you're both right. It's a lore drop followed immediately by a trap. Okay, so, well, here's the thing. If you can't see, there's a little legal policeman. Cops, campsite, fireside storytelling is this. We do the same thing. We start every day off, sit in the room, and the boss in front of the room tells us what's been going on, and we learn the same thing. So we're learning from other people's experiences. The senior guys who've been through this crap before, who've done these things, and have had many more years learning, teach the younger guys. And you can't go anywhere, any of the police stations, without finding reams and reams of bulletins, flyers, crime alerts, and training bulletins from the previous guys learning crap before you. So you kind of see how this is all setting up. Which, bang. The one thing I hate, and I've talked about this too, you won't see me doing this, I hate, because in our training, I'm off topic here, but in our training, we sit in this big room like this, and then some jack-off who's got more time on than me stands up here, because he's been inside a desk all the time, and he goes, PowerPoint, PowerPoint. And he just stands here and reads the damn crap on the screen, which is the most boring thing in the world, which is what I'm not trying to do today. So, what's a cop's normal day like? Well, I'll tell you. He starts off his day, comes into that roll call, that Lego room, sits down, like I said, the boss tells him what's going on, what bad things people are doing to each other, where they're doing it. Have time? Anybody know what time it is?
It is
4:37.
4:30.
Oh, all right, I'll speed it up.
4:37.
Just changed.
I'll speed this up. He sits down in that room, he hears what's going on, where things happen. From there, he goes and gets all his gear, gets in his car, and then he and practically half of the guys in that room race as fast as they can to the nearest coffee shop. You've seen them. You know you've seen them. You know what they do? They get the coffee and they stand around and they bitch about their boss, and they bitch about bad drivers, and they bitch about all the crap they had to do at work, and how everything's unfair, and blah, 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 blah. Because guess what? They're the same as all of you. I'm not kidding. This is what it's like. So then they do this, and they stand around and they wait for the radio to go, boop, 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 go handle this. Because nothing ever happens where the cop is. Because there's never one around when you need one. And we need a cop right now? See? So, then he races off, and he goes to wherever he's got to go. And he gets there, and there's, unless it's a really violent thing, there's person A, and there's person B. Now what happens? Person A and person B both are going to tell their stories to him separately. And person A and person B have already begun devising this as soon as the cops are called, and they're weaving together truth and lies in order to make them look really good and the other guy look really bad. And then the cop's job is to sort through these stories and go, well, this one sounds more real than this one, or more likely. And then from then he decides whether he has to make a report or arrest somebody. And that's kind of how his day goes. Repeat process. So, you like this. You guys look out your window. And across the street in the park, you see someone has come and broken out a LARP fighter practice. What do?
All cops, join in.
Join them, right. You grab your sword, you run out that door, and you go for it. Or your Nerf gun, whichever the case may be. So, hope none of you are in here. I didn't get permission, but there it is. So that's what you do, right? But not everybody does that. How does this same exact fighter practice across the park look like to a 90-year-old grandma? Okay?
Those crazy Satanists doing over there.
Oh, we have a
Yeah.
Satanist.
How about her?
Yeah.
There's crazy.
Oh, well, she might chase you off, but how about her?
I'm on.
She wins. How, you know, she's gonna have a different perception. How about that grandma? Oh, she'd call the cops, I guarantee it. Is she gonna get freaked out and call the cops? Probably. Them? Probably. But the kids might not. That guy, he might want to join. Little one can be the sacrifice. You're out here. They walk by. They gonna call the cops?
As soon as they get reception.
Yeah, exactly. This girl, oh, she's definitely calling the cops. Because pregnant women, woo! Hormone, no, I'm sorry. So, my point is, everybody has different perceptions and expectations of the world, okay? And some are the same, but most everybody looks at it a little bit differently. You know, I'm sure when you came in like this, you went, ah, shit, there's a cop here. That's probably the first thought you had. And then you checked your purse to make sure your weed was hidden. Okay, so to a normal person, oh, that's too early. Hang on. To a normal person, they don't have any reference to LARPing. So what they do is they see it, they perceive what's going on. It's more so these days than before, but they're rifling through all those little files in their head, the file cards, they're trying to figure out what the hell this is, and they don't get it. So they kind of freak out and they call the police. And nowadays, it's even worse because the days of the, you know, I don't have a loop, I wish I did, I could keep it. The days of the piece of PVC wrapped with pipe insulation and duct tape, big silver bats, those are gone. These days we have far more realistic looking safe weapons. And they're really cool. We all want that. I want more of those because they look cool. Photos look great. Everything's awesome. But you still have some stuff that is? You guys?
We have photos, but we said most of the same.
Most of the same.
They're safe.
So,
So,
they're really cool. And if you're skilled at it, you can make your own. If not, you can buy them. There are thousands. Maybe not thousands. There are hundreds of these for sale on websites. Anytime, anywhere you want. So it gets better and better. You know, you can make your own. You know, swing that at somebody, they might think.
that is awesome.
Swing that, dude. Somebody might think, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, I have a quick story. I had made a staff. It was all wood. I was all proud of it. It was wood. Had some leather wrap on it. Had a little secret compartment for a battery and a switch. Had a little glowy sphere on top so I could be the wizard walk through the woods. Yeah, I worked with that real wherever I went. Walk through the woods at night. It was really awesome. And then, maybe some people saw it on a game. And then a few games later, I had made a bought for replica of it. About the same size, everything like that. We had a little training seminar at the beginning of the game, safety seminar for fighting. And the guy giving the seminar said, yeah, and I went like this, and he goes, no, not that. Because that's how it looks, and he's a LARPer. So these things happen. I mean, you know, realistic stuff. It's not too realistic, but from your distance, is that like an entrenching tool, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about what about this? All fake. I got wood grain and shit on there. So, as I said, there'll be some swearing. Hopefully.
What?
I'm offended.
You know what? You can file a complaint with my boss. All right. So, that's
I'll
what
just tell your
I'm
wife.
Damn it. She'll probably say fuck off. If you know my wife. How about this? Okay, this one obviously is bent because it's foam. But that one's not, it's kind of the same. This shit's out there. So people see these things, they go, holy crap, and they get freaked out. And then, what do? Hiker in the woods, walking along, sees us doing what we do best, and runs to the nearest spot where they get reception, probably the top of the mountain, close to the tower. Ranger, come quick! There are Satanists in the woods, and they're carrying staves and they're chanting and crap. This has happened. It's happened. I know it's happened to you, me. Has it happened to you? Not you, I know. And then the Ranger goes, how about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Not for this.
All right, well, anyway, so.
Wait a minute.
I like participation, so that's what happens. Wait, or the granny across the street from fighter practice. What does she do? Oh, please, send the police quick. There are men and women in the park, and they've got bats and machetes, and someone's gonna die, and some of them are wearing red, and some of them are wearing blue, and I think it's gang related. then, they call the cops. Now, you're all role players. Do me a favor right now. Hopefully most of your GMs, or at least let to run events. Or, if not, I don't care, it's fine. But put yourself as a role player in the position, this guy, right here. Right? That's not me, by the way. He's probably thinner. We're so, what's going through his mind when Granny just called and there was people beating each other with bats and machetes in the park? If you don't know, as a role player, I'm going to give you some insight. That officer sitting in that car, here's what goes through his mind. Oh, fuck. Shit, all right. What's the fastest way to the park? How do I get there? Okay. How many people did she say? 20? Fuck, I gotta go backwards. There's no way I can handle 20 gangsters with bats and machetes. Shit. And he's racing along and he's like, God, I gotta get there as fast as I can because somebody could die or somebody could get really, really hurt. So he's busting his ass to get there. And when he gets there, he is gonna be amped up on adrenaline. He's got out of that car and he's gonna see a bunch of people standing in the middle of the woods with guns and bats and he's gonna come out of that car and he might have his hand on his gun. He might have his gun out because that's what he sees and that's what he knows on the way there. And what's he doing that entire time? He's filtering it. He's filing through all that shit he's seen before. The same way you role players, I wore a hat and a robe in here, so I am too. The same way us role players go, oh, shit, okay, it's got this color skin, it's this tall, it's this, so it's a this, and I kill it by doing this because I did it before, or, you know, Gorvak, the barbarian, did he told me, so he knows. Yeah. So that's what they're doing, the same thing. Slightly different, but yeah. So, that's what happens. And we talked about the swords and that kind of crap. And that's what they see. And so, how much time do we have? Quarter hour? Damn it. 15 minutes. I'm racing. Okay. So, that's what he's thinking about those things. Those swords and things like that he's seen before. But maybe if you're lucky, maybe this guy has heard about LARPing. Maybe he knows about LARPing. But if he has, is this the story he just heard? Please read it. Give me a second when you're done, you know. It's the only time I'm going to make you read.
I'm just impressed that he's equipped with sword, staff, and shield.
That's not scary.
That's too many slots.
But think about this. What if this cop has been LARPing before? And, guys, this happened Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Not years ago.
but it's Portland.
They LARP in Portland. You know they do.
Oh, obviously they do.
Yeah. So, maybe you saw this story. Some of you did. And you laughed.
took the car for sheet.
High on acid, okay? Crazy ass shit. So maybe he's thinking that, if he has heard LARP, if you're lucky. Or not lucky. That can be happening on his way there. Okay, so we talked about the swords and their realism. What about LARP-friendly firearms? Alright, we all have them. A lot of us paint them to make them look cool because we want to bet you. I know I do. I have many that I haven't painted yet because I'm too lazy. So, that's what I want to do.
We're putting together PowerPoints for this event.
Yeah. You know, you see why I wanted to see it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm boring if I was just talking. That's boring. So, that's what happened, but I hear it now. But when the cops show up, go, it's Nerf, it's Nerf, it's Nerf. Okay, right. But guess what? Here's the problem with that. What is he? He's a suspicious son of a bitch that everybody lies to him all day long. And what has he seen in training? Maybe that. Real shotgun instead of Howlin' Out Super Soaker. There's a close-up of it. And that guy was the only guy who did it. That guy was walking down the street with it. And this guy, he's not the only one who did it. Look at this one. Bam. Somebody else had the same idea. Not the only ones. There are companies that you can pay. These are all real, by the way. Companies you can pay to anodize or powder coat your real gun to make it look like a toy. See? Put your Hello Kitties and shit like that. No, that's, what's that? Littlest Pet Shop? You know? Who doesn't want a DeWalt rifle?
Is that a My Little Pony on that?
I think it's it might be a Littlest Pet Shop.
Yeah, that's Rainbow Dash. That's Rainbow Dash's mark.
Don't judge me if I know My Little Pony or Littlest Pet Shop.
Dude, bronies.
Let's not leave the ladies out. You can get yourself pink and cheetah.
She's gonna hurt her shoulder firing.
Yes, she will.
Better. Guys, who does a Spider-Man block? Spider-Man block. I had in in the 90s, and I have to be old enough to remember the 90s, thankfully we all are, I had this exact gun as a squirt gun. Batteries went here, bam. Anyway, pipe down over there, you. Come on!
Oh my God.
I want that.
No disintegration.
They wouldn't let me take it to work, though.
No disintegration.
Exactly.
No disintegration.
Exactly. No disintegration.
Killed the silence.
Guns aren't the only thing. Guns aren't the only thing. Which one's real? None of them.
Counts.
None of them are real. They're all theoretically LARP friendly. How about these? None of them are real.
Wow, we've come.
That one is. So think about these things when that cop shows up. Where am I? I don't even know. Okay. So whether the cop shows up as a good guy or an asshole, because I'm going to tell you from you to me right now, 20% of the cops I work with are assholes. I can't stand them. I don't hang out with them. I don't party with them. They're jerks. Well, then again, let's face it, 99% of them don't understand me. So that's why I'm here. Slight better understanding of how to deal with LARPers than the rest of them, but you're not going to get that guy. Okay? So whether he's a good guy or an asshole, when he shows up, because somebody called, because there's sickness in the woods, when he shows up, he's going to roll in there. Like I said, he might come in there, hand on gun, he might come in there like this, as he sees you all the swords and the guns and stuff. And what he is trying to do, and he's like I said, he's going through all those things in his head on the way there. Maybe he's just got done watching, which these are real things that I've seen. Maybe he's just got done watching a tape of a previous news broadcast in the Midwest city where a cosplayer dressed up like Blade the Vampire Hunter, walking down the street with his katana. And everybody freaked out and called him. This one a bathroom. It was real. They roll up like, hey, buddy, can we talk? Can you put down the sword? We'll talk. And he said, nope, not talking. Went on. He starts getting closer to the neighborhoods. Well, we can't let him go in the neighborhoods with the sword. So he wouldn't put it down, and they can't get close to him. So they had to shoot him with beanbag rounds from a shotgun. So he fell down. Tried to fight again, then tased him. Maybe he saw that. Maybe he just got to watching a video of a bar surveillance where another guy in the bar got pissed off this guy, and he pulled out his pocket knife. A couple of these, one of them lands here, dead in 30 seconds. Maybe he saw that. So that's their mindset when they're coming. Because when he gets there, he has a duty and an obligation to protect the people and to keep the peace. That's what he's thinking. Even the asshole ones. I love story organizers. That. If it's a gun event, he's thinking of all the people he's seen with gunshot wounds that are dead. So he's a little freaked out. So when he shows up, the first few seconds, that first minute, is the most critical time to deal with law enforcement. The first minute, most critical. And what you do could make this go nice and smooth, or it could make it go really bad. Because he, even if he walks in like this, he is ready to go this end, which is, I'll talk to him and I'll leave. If it's bad, I might have to make a report. 2, this end, which is, I might have to motherfucking kill somebody. We don't think kill, really, I swear. Not really. So, because he wants to protect lives and the public, that's his thing. So when he shows up, understand that. Now you have a better understanding of what's going on when the cop shows up. Yeah. That's not me, I'm bald, okay? That's not me. So if it gets to the point where the cops are actually at your event, how do you make it go smooth for everybody? I'll tell you what, you have this guy at every event. No, not really. One of the, right? It'll work. I'll tell you right now, it'll work. One of the questions I got from an attendee today, thank you, was, wait, did I put it in there? Yeah. Put it in there.
Thank you, Jason.
Credit. Right. How do you talk to them? If there's any time, especially in that first minute, if there's any time that the golden rule applies, holy shit, this is it.
It makes sense of rules.
What?
Sorry.
The golden rule.
Yeah, that dates you. A lot of people don't get taught the golden rule these days.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so you
Somebody
got.
please give us the golden rule?
Do you want it to, there?
And then go to you.
Yeah, right. It does date me, right. Treat people how you want to be treated. Because when he comes in, he's amped up, you might be pissed off that he's stopping your game. God damn it, somebody call the fucking cops again. Yeah. So, I get it. It pisses me off when my game is interrupted too, but because I had it happen, I told you about the snipers on the ridge. So what you do is, take that second, just, okay, I got it. If I'm cool, I deal with him, and I'm respectful and polite, guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna go from, to, okay, and he's gonna be respectful and polite. Because the authorities' actions are actually reactive to what they encounter, right? They don't show up angry ready to beat somebody. They show up and they go, oh shit, I gotta beat somebody. So that's how that happens. So if you're cool, then hey man, sorry officer, polite and respectful. I'm not talking kowtow and no, just be a polite and respectful person. Almost every LARPer I know is a decent guy, or a woman, sorry. Disclaimer 2, I default to a male pronoun, I apologize. They're all decent people. So, if you're a decent person, be a decent person to him, and he'll be decent back. Hold on. Worst case scenario is stop for a long time, hopefully nobody gets hurt. Best case scenario, short pause, and he's out of there. You don't have to say sir, you don't have to say officer. If you do, you might be a little more pleasant back to you. Because we have to give each other, even everybody in this room, respect, politeness, and we'll get it back. My recommendation is that when he shows up, one representative goes to talk to him. It's what he's going to want anyway, because when he shows up and there's 30 feet in the park, he doesn't want all 30 of you to come over and talk to him, especially if he's worried those might be real swords or real guns. One person, probably your best bet's your GM, or a seasoned person of that system who can explain it to him. When he hears it, he's probably going to have one of 3 reactions. What's the number 1 reaction? That might these days be the number 2 reaction. But keep in mind, movies like Role Models, Knights of Badassdom, Our Culture, Our Culture, not mine, is getting out there and more people are seeing it mainstream. So maybe his number 1 reaction these days is going to be like, okay, cool. Nobody's getting hurt, right? Guys will have just, all right. No laws are being broken, nothing's being stolen or destroyed. Okay, cool, you know guys, have some fun. Number 2 reaction is, you guys are crazy. And number 3 reaction, which you're talking like less than 1%, are probably going to be that secret nerd cop who goes, cool, give me your website. It's going to happen. I'm here. It could happen. I didn't get forced to be here. This isn't like punishment for something I did wrong. So, don't try to GM him either. Let him do his thing, and he'll be going faster that way. All right. So the best part is prevention. Prevention is one of the best ways of keeping the authorities from showing up and ruining your day. There are lots of ways to do it. The most basic ones, real basic. I know we all know this. This is nothing new to anybody here. Real basic stuff. If you can add more things to that, please do. Let me know.
We usually, if we're in a neighborhood, try to, if we know in advance, sort of knock on doors and tell the neighbors what's going on, and just give them a heads up before it happens, and be like, hey, just so you know, you might hear more cease and strange things.
Yeah.
Don't panic.
Notifying nearby neighbors is a great one. We haven't done it too much, but yeah, it's a great one. But
Talk to the local ranger.
hang on. Yes. Even so, there are a lot of. How do you keep the man from messing with you? Here's the best one, other than other things I said. Notifications. Guys, thank you.
Because I've been on the other side and
Yeah.
that side, so we've really thought it out.
Here's the thing, there's no way on one slide I can put up all the notifications you can make. There's no possible way it would fit. You don't have 2 or 3 slides. Because I don't know where you're gonna play. There's places all over the place. The best way to do it is to go online, find out where you're to play, call the local authorities, whether that be the rangers if you're in a park, city, sheriffs, find out where you are. And if you can't figure out where you're gonna have to call, my email's gonna be up here. You can call me or email me. Check it once a day, and I'll email you back, no problem. I'd be happy to. I'll be happy to help you in any way I can with any kind of cop-related stuff. So back to, I don't have enough time to do all of them. I want to talk about cats. You know, it'll be obvious. You guys figure out why the cops came for them. So let's go back to the snipers on the ridge. Yeah, the snipers on the ridge. So deputies came with their SWAT team and they're all set up on the ridge. The snipers are ready to shoot us because there's people down there with guns. I'm gonna throw out a scenario. Well, let me ask you a question. Did those snipers have to wait and talk to us first before they shot us? Any answers?
No.
Who says no? Who says yes? Everybody doesn't know. Okay, no problem. I'm going to put you in a scenario, role players. This is an exciting role-playing scenario. You guys are the clerk at a 7-Eleven. How awesome is that? Your special powers are being unintelligible. You're making Slurpees. That's really not nice of me. All right. Okay, no. You're a clerk at a 7-Eleven. Robber walks in the store, ski mask and all, points gun at you and says, "Give me your money." Well, guess what? Right behind him, Joe Cop stopped there and he walked in behind him. Didn't realize that was a robber's car parked in this parking lot. Walked in. You're the 7-Eleven clerk. Robber's got the gun pointed at your head. And the cop walked in the door. Do you want him to say, "Mr. Robber, police, put down the gun or I'll shoot"? Or do you want to be alive? Because that could scare the guy. He can freak out and start shooting. Legally, the cop doesn't have to warn him. So the snipers on the ridge didn't have to warn us. If they saw us taking an action, like raising one of our Nerf and or, as I showed you, the dummy bullet guns, pointing at somebody else, one of us could have been dead. Luckily, we were at a point where we weren't doing that because there's lots of talking in our games. Probably more talking than fighting. So we're cool. We heard him shouting down to us. So, being the GM, not because of what I do, but being the GM, ran up that hill of the ridge, and I talked to him. I said, "I'm out of shape and old." No, but I talked with the ranger, or that wasn't the ranger, sorry, it was the deputy. And he explained to me that we had had a perfect storm of bad events. We were, well, he didn't explain this to me, but I'll tell it to you. They got the call. Hiker said, "Guys, the guns pointing at each other. Holy shit, hurry up, get here fast." So they came running. So, lights and sirens, freaking out, like the things I told you before. They came running, and we had reserve campground at our remote location. Not private property, because controlled access because the gate was closed. And we had an on-site ranger with a phone and radios. But they tried to call him, and there was no answer. So you get on the radio, and there was no answer. So what do you think the cops were thinking?
They think you killed them.
Holy Jesus, not only are they killing each other, they're killing the ranger.
We think the Rangers are a useless class.
What's that?
Rangers are a useless class.
That's true. But we can send him down the trail first, and he might die, and we'll figure out how to avoid that trap. So, this happens. Then to make matters worse, they're on the way there, and the first car that gets there sees a car leaving the parking lot at the bottom of the hill to our thing. We don't know what's going on, better stop this guy and check it out. Woo! "Sir, can we search your car?" Go right ahead, officer. Deputy gets out, searches the car, guess what he finds in the trunk?
Gun.
A shotgun! With ammunition. So it's making our situation worse, even though we're not connected. Because this guy's coming from our camp area. So when he gets there, he's calling the cavalry. Because he's at the top of that ridge and he sees, I like to say a lot, probably 18 people, small game. But he sees all these people on there with this and this. Well, hold on, let me show you something. I forgot to show you this earlier. Toy, not toy. And he's seen these. How about this one? Toy, not toy. Yeah, I know there's an orange tip right here, but it's hard to see from that distance, isn't it? Just like the axe. Hard to tell the axe from that distance, too. And more of the toys, you know. These are all down there. And they're freaking out. So they get the snipers all set up, and that's when they decided, something doesn't seem right, let's call them up there. So that's when I sprinted like a gazelle at the top of that hill and talked to him completely unwinded. Yeah. We talked for a bit, he told me this thing, and he didn't thank me. He said, well, after he understood that this situation was fine and calmed down and talked to me, he wanted to thank me. He said, You know what? Thank you for one thing. I just got the longest lights and sirens run of my career, from one end of the county to the next. Thank you. Two little things that count. But you're never too experienced or old to learn how to make your game better. Because he told me at that moment one thing. It's kind of like a reenactment, right? Sort of. He kind of got the idea. Well, why don't you just... Wait, can you see why they were freaked out? This is from the game.
My coat is fabulous. Look at that fucking coat. Look at that mustache. That's a great
I
mustache.
wish it was closer, you could see the twirlies. So, you know, right? But the guy tells me one thing. Why don't you put the sign, reenactment in progress?
Oh, totally.
Yes.
Of all these things we do all the time, I don't think of something simple. So you can learn from you people who don't even know what LARP is. Always try to make it safer. If we put these up, maybe those hikers would have freaked out so much. Things to think about.
Costume reenactment process.
Costume reenactment process, exactly. So, the whole point of this was for me to help GMs understand the cop side, since I happen to do both. Understand the cop side, understand what's going through his mind when he gets there, understand how thinking, I mean, obviously it's basic, how thinking works and how he's thinking. All the training he's gotten. Make it as safe as you can, all the precautions you can, make notifications. If you can't figure out what to notify, call or email me. If you need any questions at all regarding law enforcement authority, how to make your deal with them better, or anything at all.
How do you know the drive rescue?
Pardon?
Can we email you on that? How do you know the drive?
Yes, email me on that. I wanted to get this done quicker, but because of our technical difficulties, I didn't. Are you waiting for the room?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm fine, go on, carry on. Come on.
Wait, someone is.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't think the next speakers really, yeah, I can't see them.
Yes.
I'm gonna try.
Wait.
Are you the last speaker?
Yeah, we're doing the next panel.
Oh, I'm totally sorry. I'll make this quick as I can.
okay.
Last time went long. I did have some Q&A things that I wanted to hit, but again, this technical problem went long, so any questions right now?
Or we can take it outside.
Yeah.
There's room. Yeah, I have one
Take it
more
outside.
Well, they're not here yet, so.
Take this outside.
I was given a question about pocket knives, illegal weapons, sheath knives, things like that, and the topic of private versus public property. Anybody interested in those answers?
Yes.
Which do you want to know first?
Public or private?
Knives or public private?
I'm gonna go with property.
Property, here we go. I'll make it as quick as I can.
No, you got 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Hot damn somebody. All
I thought it
right.
started,
So,
our start counts
He
with,
started late, he's got 20 minutes, already quit it with the next presenter. So
With-
somebody's
oh,
waiting
with
for the
Ashley?
next presenter with Ashley.
okay,
sorry,
there's,
going back to this.
there's 4 of us.
sorry.
Yeah, Ashley even said it's okay, you're welcome to hang out.
Thanks for that. Private property. Well, first of all, let's talk about public property, so it'll be easier. Public property, so public property is open to anybody to be on. Public parks, hiking trails, any of those things. Public property is, are you actually taping this? Damn it.
Every swear word.
Hang on. Serial number 35865 for those of you that I watch.
1 year.
Sorry, at pace, it's gonna be really hard to keep me on camera.
Wide blends.
Good. So, better be. Yeah, baby.
18 minutes.
So, public property is anywhere you can legally go, right? You have a right to be there. Parks, camping trails and whatnot. Can they close a park and disallow you access, even though it's public land? Yes, there are reasons. So if it's closed or whatnot, that's, you can't go there. If you go there, you're gonna be trespassing, and that can be a problem. Oh, I forgot this one. I'm slightly baby. What else do you want to know about public property? Yes?
We are, my husband and I are going to be running an event on, it is technically private land, but it is surrounded by Bureau of Land Management land.
Right?
So obviously beyond talking to authorities that would be in that area and warning them that we're going to do an event there, what sort of things are we going to have to worry about in terms of like, it's private we're doing our own thing, there's really, it's really undeveloped land, so we would have to be pulling in like all of resources from other areas and crossing over both Bureau of Land Management land and other people's private property.
Crossing over is not a problem because there's such a thing as easement.
Yes.
So that's not an issue. You're crossing over, as long as there's some kind of maintained access path, right? You can go there. That's not going to be a problem at all. No real question on that. First, where is this? So I can use it. Okay. Bureau of Land Management may own the land, but chances are there's going to be nobody on that land. Chances are. Okay. If there is an issue, honestly, I can't foresee an issue because unless you're crossing over onto their land, there's nothing that they can do because you're on private property. So if crossing it, you're fine. If you're going out there, start playing. If your players start going that way, just kind of herd them in or let them know where the boundaries are.
Okay.
And they should be fine. The Bureau of Land Management isn't using it for anything right now. They're just holding it for stuff in the
This
future.
particular land, part of it is a recreational vehicle, it's open to recreational
Okay.
vehicles. And part of it, I believe there's an environmental area, it's a desert tortoise area, it's up near Mojave. But I'm not entirely sure what land, we know what the land is that we're gonna be running on, but there are,
It's by the Bureau of Land Management.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's also the environmental for the desert tortoise.
Yes, yeah, the whole area, because it's Mojave, is under environmental protection.
Right. So here's the trick you're going to run into. It's not going to be where you are. If it's on private land, you're kind of king's X. But when you're crossing the Bureau lands, and let's say trying to keep the players from going out there, because if on the off chance there's somebody out there, because they usually don't post people, and they see you out there, they're going to freak out because if it's some kind of protected land for some kind of animal or something, you know how they get really crazy about that stuff. So I would just do what you can. So when you're crossing it on whatever easement you're using, try to do everything they say. If it says low speeds, whatever, try to drive off the paths that they give you, and you're going to be fine. Yeah. And the public property questions. Okay, the only reason, all right. The tricky part comes to private property. But public property, you can go wherever you want, do whatever you want, as long as you're not breaking any obvious laws. Noise complaint's the one you got. Well, I don't know about all the
10-minute warning.
I don't know about all the smaller municipalities or other places, but there are noise laws everywhere. And everywhere people live, there are noise laws because we all cram together and want to make it easier. In the city of LA, technically speaking, there is no cutoff time. It's whenever. And some cities might have laws like that too, so that'll happen. But as long as you're not doing anything obviously criminal that's going to hurt somebody, they're not going to show up. I mean, unless grandma calls or the baby in the stroller calls. When it comes to private land, sorry, the woman with the baby in the stroller, not the baby in the stroller.
That's funny.
Although these days, a cell phone, you know. Private property. It's not as cut and dried as you think. It's not like when they get called to you, you got a house with a big backyard, and you're throwing an event in your backyard. It's noisy, you've got the weapons out, you shoot each other with your Nerf, and the cops get called. Depending on why they got called, you can't necessarily go, nope, you can't come in. It's not like when the bad guy in the police chase on TV pulls in his driveway, runs into his house, ha ha, safe. For the most part, when it's your land, it's your rules, you win. You're king of that domain. But if the call the police got is somebody back there just shot somebody, again, we come back to they have a duty and an obligation to make sure that guy's not dead. There's nobody really shot back there. So if, when they show up at your door, you don't go, nope, I'm not coming in, and then it becomes a hassle. If you just say, okay, come on, check it out. Because really, most people who aren't criminals. We're cool people, decent members of society. If they come in, they're going to go, oh, Nerf guns, cool, see ya. That's it. Private property brings me to one more thing. There's a different form of authority that I forgot to bring up that somebody else asked me to talk about, which is the camp posts. Camp posts are people hired by the state or the county to manage and maintain a campground or a park. They're not a real ranger. They're not sworn, can't carry a gun, can't arrest you, can't cite you. But they're kind of like, because they're hired to represent this property, they're kind of like a person who owns private property. That's kind of how the rules work, because they represent the state. So they're the homeowner per se of that area. So when they make up rules, they're enforcing the rules they have for that campground. That's the way it is. Which is why on the Star Wars LARP, we couldn't use Nerf guns. Because those were his rules in his area. So, any questions at all?
Because you didn't want foam darts littering.
Yes, you didn't want giant Nerf foam darts which cost $1 a piece littering his campground. Sorry, I thought it was BS. We actually had CDPD out there and they went, oh, I don't see why you can't use them. Fine with me. But guess what? It's the camp host and it's kind of his part because he has to maintain it. So, anything else at all? Any questions? Yes?
We kind of talked to you about this briefly before, but it's relevant. I didn't talk to you directly about it, so I'm curious to hear. Since we run a modern game, our players obviously in-game sometimes come into conflict with police. Which means that sometimes we need people to NPC policemen.
Right.
We had one game that was a crime scene. We have actually had some EMT uniforms donated to the game. They look realistic enough for us to use. My concern is where the little line crosses, because obviously impersonating a police officer is kind of a big deal. So how do we walk that line carefully so that we can make it realistic for the players without upsetting any local authorities?
Here's my question. Are you trying to, here's the question. Are you trying to run it so that, are you breaking the fourth wall here? Are you trying to run it so that these are real policemen
No.
coming to stop the game?
No, it's just only in game.
Okay.
The players know that these are
Okay.
NPCs.
Right.
So,
All right, so your issue is not with your players perceiving them to not be, it is with other people perceiving that. Well, first of all, time.
No, I was gonna say imitating a police officer.
She did mention that as could get you in hot water. But the thing is a contained environment.
it was at a park. The way that we handled it was that we made up signs that were basically, don't panic, this is a game.
Right.
If you see people in police uniforms here or things that appear to be dead bodies, please don't panic.
Right.
Or crime scene tape, this is just a reenactment. And
If-
posted them around the site.
If encountered, the real authorities, if they show up and you're encountering them, an explanation is all it will take. Because what they have to determine when they arrive. My job, if I show up and arrive over there and I'm like, okay, what's going on? There's guys dressed up like police and they're wearing all the gear and they've got a Nerf gun in here and you tell me what's going on, I'm gonna know what's going on. I'm not talking as an ARP cop, I'm talking as a regular cop. I'm gonna show up and go, okay. And then I have to determine, well, are they doing anything that would violate the rights of anybody else unknown to them? And that's where it comes down to, is if this person dressed up like a police officer is doing things to detain someone else or to violate their rights or impede their freedom in any way, then your role player is now breaking that law. So if it's...
You're saying there's sort of an intent
Yes.
aspect to
Yeah,
it?
This
it's not
law
an
has-
actual law.
This law has, it's not a blanket of,
Okay.
yeah, it's an intent law. If there is no direct intent or transferred intent, which I don't want to get, that's a legal term I don't want to get into. Disclaimer number 3. Those of you who don't know. Damn it. Disclaimer number 3 basically was I'm not talking about a lot of that stuff. It'll take damn long. So, yeah, unless there's an intent to deprive them of their rights, then it's not an issue. Okay. That was a great question.
We were really worried about it, but the signs worked really well, nobody got called.
Yeah.
I literally just made signs that said in giant letters,
Don't panic, and then a bunch of,
Yeah.
and then an explanation.
And that's
So-
something I never thought of until the deputy told me.
So if I ever commit a crime, I should have a big sign that says don't
If
panic.
you're a crime, doing that a LARP,
Yeah, right?
No, the best thing to do is have a camera crew with you. So you can rob a bank if there's a guy with a camera. they'll just-
Just make sure you have a permit.
That's something that our players do since they're
does
all
anybody have any
immortals.
questions or anything I can address now?
have to call
You got a few more
so it
minutes.
doesn't panic.
When choosing the person who goes to talk to the police officers,
Okay. Oh, let me bring that up. When you send somebody to go talk to the police officer,
Have them covered in blood.
don't have. And don't pick that guy. Don't pick that guy. Don't pick the big evil warrior in the costume. Don't pick the guy that's dressed up like the Urukai. You know.
Yes.
And
Leave your weapons behind.
yeah, don't show up to talk to the cop like this. Yeah, officer, what's going on? Yeah, you know what's going on. I know what's going on. No, don't. Just if you have, because here's the thing, he may want to see someone. So if you've got cool sheath for your buffer sword, yeah, leave it there. That's okay. If you've got a cool ass holster for your Nerf gun, leave it there. Because if he doesn't like it, when you're coming his way, he'll say, hey, do me a favor, leave that down there. Doesn't really hurt. And he might want to see it because he probably thinks it's cool too. And he understands they're not real, and he'll realize that everybody else is not real because he'll compare them, and he'll move on. But yes, I'm sorry, Aaron, continue with your question.
I mean, you mostly answered it. It's better to send an email, possibly Maui looking.
Oh, okay, no, so last time I was GMing an event at a park, it wasn't Hunter's Moon, it was a different game, and we had Nerf guns, and a policeman showed up, and I saw him and was like, oh, okay, and he was talking to like, 2 of the players, and I was the GM in charge of the event there, and I had my walkie-talkie, and I had my clipboard, and I had all that, and I was like, oh, law enforcement, okay, I should go handle this. He didn't want to talk to me.
Like,
It was,
really,
I was actually
or it
going
was
to ask
just already
Dave about it. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I was actually going to ask Dave about it. Maybe it was that he was already talking to somebody who was handling it, but I was, as the GM, I went over and was like, okay, I should maybe, because I'm the person responsible for this situation right now, he didn't want to talk to me. He sort of shut me down and was like.
Did you say I'm in charge of this game? Or?
Yeah. I started to, and I said I'm trying, I think the situation was already mostly handled at that point, but it was still like he had no interest in talking to me. It was weird. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, if he's reached the point, here's what I would say. If he's reached the point where he kind of gets what's going on, and he's content that it's going to be fine,
Yeah.
he doesn't need more people to tell him the same thing.
Yeah, I figured it was maybe mostly handled. I mean, there was also a situation there where there were 2 kids who had like airsoft guns as well, and they weren't with us.
Yeah. That can make it, those factors make it worse.
Yeah, it
we
was
didn't know the guy with the gun in his trunk.
No, right.
You know? But he was there when the police showed up, so.
Right.
Do you think that sort of the rise of airsoft and airsoft as a sport and all that helps us to a certain extent? Because I think like a certain number of years ago, they would never assume it was a fake weapon. I think now there's more sense of that.
There is more sense of it, however, especially when it comes to airsoft, if it comes down to somebody carrying the airsoft, the officer's not going to go, maybe it's airsoft, because he can't take that chance. Because he doesn't want to get shot, and another person on the street, he doesn't want the person on the street to get shot, so he's not going to take that chance. But guess what? We've all heard the stories of the kids that got shot with airsoft guns, and it sucks. But you know who somebody it sucks for really bad? The cop that shot that kid, because now he's like, damn, because he wants to get the real bad guys, not the kids out playing airsoft. Which is another reason why he wanted to, I don't want anybody else talking to me. I got the story, cool, I'm out of here. Because he wants to go get the real bad guy and not mess up your day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's helped or hurt us as LARPing. But I do think, like I said, about the movies and stuff like that, they're more aware, so you can go into my station. I don't talk about this at work. That's why I said this was my coming out party when I took off the road. Nobody at my work knows this is what I do in my off time, and because they don't get it. However, if you were to walk in and start to bring up something, they might go, oh yeah.
There's probably someone else you work with the same stuff. You're going to run into each other one day on the trail. One of you's going to be an orc, one of you's going to be a paladin.
And it's gonna be,
oh, no way.
it's gonna be your boss.
Trust me, my boss is already an orc. Comedy.
Nice.
Yeah, anything else? Email me, it's not a hard email to remember, so email me with any questions or concerns. I'll get them. What was that email again? It was larpcop@gmail.com.
Wait,
I'll send you the handle. Also,
That's with a silent Q.
Coming to be seen in the fall.
Tables happened when we were buying pastas and stuff.
How does it possible?